Hey everybody, my name is Ryan Stevenson, and if you're watching this video, I presume that's because you're working with programmed drums and you're just sick and tired that they're just sucking the life out of your music. Your productions are sounding dull, it sounds robotic. You want it to sound human, you want it to sound like someone's actually playing these parts. And that's what this video is here for. Ever since I started doing remote drum recordings, that's in the top problems that I hear from clients of the reason they come to me. They want to bring those drums to life. Quite frankly, not everyone's at that stage where they want to actually jump in and hire a session player. If you're anything like myself, you just want to figure it out and do it yourself. So we're going to dive right in. I'm going to make this quick because one, I'm sure you're eager to put this to practice and get those productions rolling. And two, if you haven't read the title of this video yet, I challenge myself to give you 4 tips in 4 minutes. No time to waste. The clock is ticking. Let's go. So jumping right in, for the purpose of this video, I'm using Logic Pro, but you can use whatever DAW suits your needs. There's some ones out there that are free and look exactly like this, and there's some high quality ones. I think the better the software, the better sounding drums you'll get, just kind of common sense, but go with whatever works for you. Quick note, I'm not reinventing the wheel. These aren't new tips or tricks. There's tons of amazing tutorials out there that will teach you more into detail, more into depth. My goal here is just to make it fast, to make it quick and easy. I just want you to understand as quick as possible so you can jump right into putting this to practice yourself. So here's take 1 of a beat. Next. I'm sure I can leave that there and you'll understand the differences are subtle. But if you're a music producer, you know it's all the small, subtle changes that make the big difference in the end. So tip number 1, think like a drummer. If you're not a drummer, you're going to take these hi-hats like right here and paste it start to finish right through the section. You're not going to take into consideration you're playing toms, you're playing crashes, your hands, like it's not humanly possible to be playing all these elements all at the same time. So if you want to think like a drummer, you're going to remove the hi-hats when you're going for the tom fill. You're going to remove the hi-hats when you're going for the crash. That's just what's going to happen in real life. And speaking of real life, tip number 2 is velocity. You'll notice up here, it's 127 right across the grid, start to finish. It's beast mode. There's a monster playing these drums, hitting everything as hard as they can, consistently, which never happens. That's what's sucking life out of your music. You want to play with feeling. Kick and snare down here, which is the body of the beat, will stay pretty much strong start to finish. Everything else is going to wave up and down because that's what's giving life and feeling and emotion to the music, the different levels of strength that are coming across, keeping that flow. It's all about the flow. Tip number 3, which is also pretty simple, is flams. Flams is what happens when both hands are not hitting at the exact same time. People do this on purpose. Some people don't do it on purpose. But demo 1 up here, you'll notice that when the toms and snares are building up, they're locked to the grid and it's right exactly on time, which no one will ever really play this way. Often enough, you're going to see it wave a bit, that you're going to have something just before, just after. I like taking the element that's more higher pitch, that's louder, and like the snare, and put that as close as possible to the grid because that's what our ear is mainly picking up first. But the other elements surrounding it, they can be a bit early, they can be a bit late, but they're never right on. And that's just kind of, those imperfections make it human. Tip number 4 before we end this is panning. If take number 1 is everything was right down the middle, take number 2 is a bit more of a stereo image. If I pull up this diagram of the kid that I go on tour with, I want to hear what's to my left towards the left. I want to hear what's on my right towards the right. The more right you go, the more right I'm panning. Some people like crowd perspective as if they're watching you perform from the front and this is flipped. Personally, I like drummer perspective, kind of like if I'm air drumming away to my favorite song and I'm playing the hi-hats over here, that's where I'm hearing it. And that's it. I thank you so much for sticking around to the end. We actually made 4 tips under 4 minutes. And I thank you for watching. I'm going to actually, just as a bonus, because I have time, jump behind my kit and play this beat because I feel like nothing compares to real drums. I love taking things that aren't real, like the programming, and making it as real as possible. I just love playing drums. And that's it. I really hope that this video helped you. I hope that it opened your eyes to certain details that you weren't paying attention to before. In the end, that's what it's all about, the details. Details matter. But if there's anything I did not cover in this video, if you still have questions, if you're still struggling with something, please feel free to reach out to me. If you want to book my services to program or record drums for you, that's also a possibility. For both of those situations, head over to ryanstevensondrums.com. There's a contact form on the bottom. And I would love to hear from you if this video helped you in any way, or what else I can help you with to achieve those perfect drums. So until next time, take care.